Well, just in case.
Let's do it. Orange underwear? Warning or heads up to get your bagels and your coffee and find a seat. It got quiet. I think that means we can start. Yay! Good morning, everybody. It is library day. It's KU Libraries Day. Is Watson not gorgeous in this photograph? Maybe we'll just admire it for 45 minutes. What do you think? Love the blue uplighting, and it's still going strong and still getting compliments on a regular basis. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our annual State of the Libraries address. This is my second such address, and I am so excited by the many developments that I'm going to be sharing with you, updates that reflect just how far we have all come since 1 year ago in this room in April of 2024. Because KU Libraries is an integral partner in every dimension of the academic enterprise, because the libraries literally belong to all of you, faculty, students, staff, and the broader KU community, it is important that you have the opportunity to hear directly from us annually about how we are striving every day to bring you a better KU Libraries. Before we dive into all the good things, so many good things to share with you that the KU Libraries team has brought over the past year, I do want and need to first briefly acknowledge the moment that we are in. We are living through a time of disruption and uncertainty. Across the country and indeed around the world, libraries, museums, and other public institutions entrusted with the preservation and dissemination of knowledge and culture are facing mounting pressures. These are not easy times for institutions dedicated to the public good. The recent reduction in capacity of the Institute of Museum and Library Services, what we call IMLS, as just one example, is having real fiscal implications for KU Libraries and for all libraries and museums. The cuts to federal grants have had real implications for KU Libraries. We just received notification a week or two ago that a recently awarded NEH grant to our libraries' conservation services would not be forthcoming. And yet, these are also precisely the moments that clarify why libraries exist. The mission of libraries is timeless. Our mission is rooted in the enduring beliefs that knowledge matters, that truth exists, that equitable access to information is essential, that preservation of information is foundational to civilization, and that community is something that we must all build and sustain together. When these core values are challenged, the work of libraries does not shrink. It must not shrink. It only grows more vital. So, know that KU Libraries is not retreating in the face of challenge. We are rising to meet it. We're strengthening our campus commitments. We're deepening our community engagement. We are transforming our systems and our spaces and our services to meet the needs of a new era. We are evolving and we are advancing, and we are doing so with creativity, courage, resolve, and yes, with joy. So today I have the privilege of sharing with you the many ways we are advancing and the privilege of shining a light on the extraordinary work of our library team and our many supporters, many of whom are in the room today, who have made this past year, I mean, it's been one of challenges, but also transformation, renewal, and celebration. So here's what we're going to be covering in the coming hour or so. We're going to be talking about how KU Libraries is evolving and advancing with a steadfast focus on the 3 strategic pillars of Jayhawks Rising. And you'll see from the legend in the lower right-hand corner and the little symbols in the upper right-hand corner that as we move through this, we will be tracking the 3 Jayhawk Rising pillars: student success, healthy and vibrant communities, research and discovery. So we're also going to be talking about how KU Libraries is innovating from within to become more experimental and entrepreneurial and highly participatory. We are going to talk about how we are launching an expansive vision for KU Libraries' contributions to internationalization and global engagement, how we are deepening our connections with the fuller KU community through storytelling and stewardship. We'll take a moment to pull back the curtain and look behind the scenes at the essential infrastructure and operations that sustains everything KU Libraries does, but sometimes can go unsung or unnoticed. And then finally, we'll briefly look ahead to what is next for KU Libraries, and in many cases, what's already well underway in 2025. So let's commence with an overview of all the different ways that KU Libraries is contributing to learning, discovery, and community. First, and in fact, I was hearing some comments on this morning that some of our Board of Advocates who came in last night and walked through our libraries noticed the uptick in visits. People came together in 2024 and they chose to come together in KU Libraries. This past year saw remarkable sizable increases in usage of our spaces. We saw a 16% increase year on year in in-person visits, welcoming more than 621,000 visitors across our 6 campus locations. That's not just an impressive metric, that is a very meaningful reflection of students, faculty, researchers, and community members choosing to engage with library spaces as a destination for focus, for collaboration, for belonging. We provide almost 3,000 seats across all of our libraries, but it's really the collective energy that those seats bring when they are filled that tells the real story. Anschutz Library in particular really stood out this past year as a true academic hub. On 62 different days, more than 500 students and library users were present in the building at a single time. On May 6th, during the heart of finals, use peaked at 747 users studying and engaging in research together, all under one roof. At Watson Library, we saw extraordinary growth in event space usage in particular, in the 455 conference room and right here in the 3 West reading room. These spaces experienced a 74% increase in reservations and usage by KU departments and faculty from the previous year. We are becoming a go-to venue for scholarly gathering, dialogue, and community events. Community engagement is growing at KU Libraries, and I'm going to tell you about some developments that are going to mean that we will have additional community engagement developing at KU Libraries. So numbers are important, but they are also just a backdrop to something even deeper. KU Libraries is not only the places that people go, they're the places that people are clearly returning to because they feel welcome here, because they feel supported here, because these are spaces they know belong to them. KU Libraries is intentionally cultivating healthy and vibrant communities, and the KU community is clearly responding. So if Anschutz is where students gather for focused academic work, Spencer Research Library is where they come to encounter the past and often to recognize themselves as part of a sustained scholarly conversation that spans time. In 2024, the Stockstead Reading Room welcomed over 1,100 researcher visits, with more than a third of those visits coming from KU undergraduates, and that's an important statistic. It reflects not just overall usage, but direct intentional engagement by Spencer with our student body. More of our students are experiencing primary information sources, rare books, photographs, and more, not just as abstract resources, but as material culture that informs their understanding of society and helps them make sense of their space and place in the world. Spencer is also an active teaching environment. We hosted 16 group visits from K-12 schools and other colleges and universities across the region, reaching 280 non-KU students through dedicated instruction sessions. These engagements are impactful experiences that help build a pipeline of future KU students, scholars, researchers, and community stewards. Beyond the classroom, Spencer also was a site of shared curiosity and connection. We conducted 65 tours and events, reaching a wide spectrum of visitors that were local, national, and even international. Whether welcoming diplomats, student organizations, or community groups, Spencer continues to serve as a bridge between campus and community and between past and present. And that bridge extends online as well through our Inside Spencer blog. If you're not following it, it's easy to find. We published 59 blog posts in the past year, including 35 in the beloved That's Distinctive series, which has become a favorite way for our Spencer readers to explore the quirky, the rare, and the resonant corners of our collections. Let's talk a little bit about the annex. Behind the scenes, we continue to make room for even more impact. At the annex, staff accessioned more than 166,000 items in 2024. This opens up new potential across our libraries, enabling us to imagine and develop more user-centered spaces. So this is what active library stewardship looks like. We're preserving the past and also preparing for the future. Libraries have always been places of gathering, not just for study, but for shared discovery, connection, and community. And in 2024, KU libraries embraced this role more fully than ever. Across the system, we hosted more than 30 major events, bringing together students, faculty, alumni, and community members in settings that fostered dialogue, celebration, and shared learning. These events were all expressions of exactly what we are and what we do as a community platform, and they were all invitations for people to see the library as a place where they belong. Of course, the highlight of the year was our Watson Centennial season of celebration. We all enjoyed that. More than 1,000 people joined events commemorating the first 100 years of Watson Library. It was a season of looking back, but also of looking forward, with events that honored our history while casting a bold vision for what the next century could bring. And we were deeply moved by the energy, the stories, and the generosity that this celebration sparked. In our exhibit spaces, we continued to curate stories that connect KU Library's collections with lived experience, whether celebrating student-curated work, highlighting cultural heritage, or showcasing our own KU Library's history. Exhibits allowed us to reach users visually, emotionally, and intellectually. And we just put up a new one over here in Harricombe if you want to take a look at it afterwards. We also expanded access to enjoyment and well-being through our new Libby Leisure collection. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. It's a curated offering of ebooks and audiobooks that are designed for personal reading, reflection, and relaxation. In these times of high stress and rapid change, making space for joy, escape, and imagination matters deeply. And with Libby, we're making it easier for our KU community to read for pleasure. And we're reinforcing that the library supports the whole student, the whole scholar, and the whole person. At KU Libraries, we don't just serve students, we invite them to actually shape the library experience themselves. This spring, we piloted a powerful new initiative, and it was one of my favorite experiences of the year, and that is a new student curated collection in Watson Library. You can find it right in front of the circulation desk. This sent a powerful signal that students are not just welcome in the library, but they are active co-creators in shaping it. They are active co-creators in knowledge, and that is incredibly powerful. And I think that this is a pilot, but something I think we're going to see continuing for many years to come. Many library programs like this are made possible through generous private support, including our ongoing Sanders Scholars Program, which continues to open doors for KU undergraduates to work alongside our KU Libraries faculty. Through this program, the Sanders Scholars Program, students gain hands-on experience with the evolving practice of librarianship and insights into the possibilities of a career in the field. And we all know that many of our KU Libraries employees started out as student employees. Our engagement doesn't stop there. KU Libraries played an active role in key student success and student transition programs, from summer orientation and Jayhawk Jumpstart to international orientation, Hawk Week, and Winter Welcome. These enable students to feel grounded from the moment they arrive and ensure that they understand that the library is here for them, not just academically, but holistically. We are especially grateful for our KU Library Student Ambassadors, or KULSAP. This is a diverse, dynamic group of students who represent the libraries and share their library knowledge and experiences with their fellow student peers. They help ensure that what we build, we're building student-centrically with our students in mind. And speaking of building, if you ever have walked through the makerspace at Anschutz, you have felt the buzz. It is a place of invention, experimentation, and wellness. This year, our team expanded the Makerspace mission from tech tools like 3D printers and podcasting equipment to include a series of events focused on care and creativity, like the very successful, overwhelmingly successful Plant Shoots program, activities that promote much needed well-being for our campus community. And we also debuted a seed library, which you can find right on this floor. Jack can show it to you afterwards if you'd like to visit the seed library. So I am particularly thrilled to share that with support from Provost Bickelmeyer and our partners, the Hall Center for the Humanities and Academic Affairs. We have been completely reimagining the KU Common Book program, turning it into an even more inclusive, more compelling, shared experience for the KU community. We will have a wider public announcement in August, but I can tell you that we are excited for the new book selection for 2025, 2026, and we've already been offering teach-in sessions this very week to support KU faculty and instructional staff as they integrate this year's book into their curriculum. And the author of the book is coming to campus this year. So all of these initiatives reflect our deep commitment to meeting students where they are academically, socially, and emotionally, and inviting them into a lifelong relationship with the libraries as partners in their learning journey. Let's move on to research. KU Libraries is deeply embedded in the research enterprise at every level and across every stage of the scholarly process. In 2024, our library faculty and staff provided more than 1,700 individual research consultations. These are not casual interactions, they are in-depth partnerships that help faculty and students navigate everything from refining research questions and structuring literature reviews to identifying data sources and preparing manuscripts for publication. We also taught over 400 course integrated instruction sessions reaching more than 6,000 KU students, from first-year writing seminars to doctoral level research methods courses, and across every KU school and the college. In each of these classroom interactions, librarians are integral partners alongside disciplinary faculty as educators, collaborators, and trusted guides through the complexity of the information landscape. One area of particularly rapid growth and demand has been our program for systematic reviews. This is a comprehensive and structured method for synthesizing existing research evidence on a specific question or topic. We now provide access to well over 500 systematic review projects through our Covidence platform, with many including our library faculty as co-authors. So we are bringing rigor, structure, and clarity to complex interdisciplinary scholarship. Our research support is woven across the disciplines as a strategic investment in enabling KU scholars to do their very best work. And what distinguishes our approach is not just the expertise of our librarians, it's the relationships that we build. KU Libraries, faculty, and staff build long-term research partnerships that extend across academic careers, departments, and even borders. One of our most impactful initiatives has been Sprints Week. This is a full week of intensive collaborative research development designed to help faculty and graduate students make measurable progress on their projects. Sprints Week is a structured opportunity to move one's research forward through focused collaboration with library experts across multiple domains. Our research engagement team engaged in 2 Sprints Week projects in 2024. Both of them explored technology integration into courses with the goal of incorporating emerging platforms and tools like AI to enhance classroom learning. Throughout the year, our library faculty also led a robust offering of workshops and learning series, including the Digital Jumpstart program, which helps researchers explore digital scholarship tools and methods. These sessions open new pathways for inquiry, particularly for those engaging with multimodal, data-driven, or publicly accessible forms of research. We continued our longstanding engagement with carpentries workshops, which are so popular with our students. They sell out very, very fast, and we need to expand them. This is peer-supported training in topics like R, Python, geospatial data, and genomics. These sessions empower KU scholars to analyze, interpret, and visualize data in ways that extend the reach and resonance of their research. We're also offering targeted consultations in research data management, helping our researchers plan for data organization, preservation, and responsible sharing from the very beginning of their grant-sponsored projects. And our Fridays on 4th project provides a regular space for our graduate students to engage with tools like EndNote and Zotero and AI-enhanced research workflows, all while building community with fellow scholars navigating similar challenges. So KU Libraries is an active, evolving, and collaborative research environment. Whether launching a new project, grappling with methodology, or exploring emerging tools, KU researchers know they can turn to the libraries to develop fluency in the tools, the methods, and the mindsets that today's scholarship demands. Moving on to digital humanities, the Institute for Digital Research in the Humanities, or IDRH, is a powerful expression of KU's leadership in digitally engaged scholarship, and it's housed right here in Watson. It is a long-standing collaborative partnership between KU Libraries, the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and the Hall Center for the Humanities. Today, we are shaping the future of research and public engagement with digital humanities. IDRH brings together scholars, technologists, and cultural stewards to explore new methods, tools, and forms of inquiry across the disciplines. In fiscal year 25, the IDRH offered 18 workshops providing practical hands-on experiences that span everything from data visualization and geospatial mapping to text encoding and public digital storytelling. The IDRH Fellows Program fosters a vibrant scholarly community connecting faculty, students, and staff who are actively exploring digital and public humanities projects. Fellows gain access to project support, advanced training, and a network of peers working at the intersection of humanistic questions and digital possibility. So KU Libraries' contributions to IDRH underscore our broader commitment to shaping research culture. Through this valued partnership, KU Libraries continues to build capacity for digital scholarship, transdisciplinary exchange, and publicly engaged research that resonates far beyond the academy. And we have big plans in the early stages of discussion for IDRH in the years ahead, so stay tuned on that. Publishing platforms and access. KU Libraries continues to play a central role in shaping the scholarly communications ecosystem, removing barriers, expanding visibility, and strengthening the infrastructure that connects KU's research with the world. Through our open journals system, we now support over 60 active academic journals, including 6 new titles launched just this year alone. These journals reflect the breadth of KU's intellectual life, and the library provides editorial support, digital infrastructure, and the guidance that enables scholarly communities to publish rigorously, sustainably, and openly. KU ScholarWorks, our institutional repository, is approaching a big milestone, nearly 30,000 items. This growing body of work represents not only faculty and student publications, but also creative works, data sets, theses and dissertations, and community engaged scholarship. It is KU's open public archive, and it is growing daily. Our read and publish agreements with major publishers are helping to transform the landscape for open access publishing. If you're not familiar with read and publish agreements, these are what enable KU researchers to publish openly in hundreds of high impact journals while also eliminating author-facing costs. These arrangements aren't just cost effective, they are a deliberate strategy on the part of libraries to shift the scholarly publishing model toward more equity and more open access. During Open Access Week, we partnered with our OCA communications team to produce a series of compelling video stories highlighting KU's researchers whose work is reaching broader audiences and creating real-world impact because it is open and freely accessible. These video stories are powerful reminders of what is possible when knowledge flows freely. And if you haven't watched the videos, they're not too hard to find, and we can point you to them. Finally, we continue to invest in open educational resources, OER, through both grant programs and advocacy. OERs significantly reduce textbook costs for students, increase instructional flexibility for faculty, and ensure that learning material reflect a full diversity of perspectives and approaches. With just a very modest investment, and this is perhaps one of our most impressive library metrics, our OER program now yields an estimated $1.25 million in student textbook savings annually. And it's reaching approximately 12,500 unique individual students. They are benefiting from this work. That is a powerful demonstration of the power of OERs. We would love to further expand the reach of OERs in the years to come, as well as examine the impact of OERs on KU student retention and graduation rates. Digitization initiatives. We've been really active in this area. Preserving the past is only part of our mission, but equally important is ensuring that the materials in our care are discoverable, usable, and meaningful to new audiences. So in 2024, KU Libraries digitized over 33,000 images. That's an extraordinary expansion of access to materials that connects KU's story with the broader story of the world. As part of our Watson Centennial celebrations, we digitized a wide range of historical photographs that document the evolution of Watson Library as a space, as a symbol, and as a community. From the pages of the University Daily Kansan, we preserved articles, announcements, and editorials that reflect student voices and campus discourse over time. These materials offer vivid snapshots of the cultural and intellectual currents that have shaped KU across generations. We've also expanded access to the Endicott Society's remarkable oral history interviews. These are personal narratives that capture the experiences and reflections of KU retirees. These are invaluable sources of institutional memory and community insight, and digitizing them ensures that they will remain accessible for future researchers, alumni, and KU community members. And then from the Arthur Jellison photograph collection, we have made visible a really compelling set of mid-20th century portraits. These are rich with detail. Collections like this remind us of the power of everyday lives and ordinary moments to tell important stories. So digitization is not simply about preservation, it is also about presence. It's about making sure that the materials we steward are part of the active ongoing conversations about scholarship, teaching, and public engagement. By bringing these images and voices into digital form, KU Libraries is opening new pathways for inquiry, inspiration, and connection. And we have aspirations for an expanded digitization lab here in Watson so we can go even further in the future. So as I close this first section, I just hope it's really clear how vibrantly KU Libraries has been advancing learning, discovery, and community, and how we advance Jayhawks Rising in all that we do. That is the longest section. But it gives you an idea of just how busy we have been and all that we've been doing. I'd like to turn now to a second area of focus, and this is reflecting how KU Libraries is also evolving from within. Continuous innovation isn't just about technology or infrastructure, it's also about culture. It's how we empower our own people to think boldly, to experiment freely, and to lead collaboratively. This section highlights the ways in which we are cultivating internal talent within KU Libraries, how we are redesigning our organizational structures and crafting the kind of learning organization that can thrive in a rapidly changing and increasingly challenging world. Innovation isn't something we just layer on top of our daily work. It's embedded in how we think, how we organize, and how we anticipate what scholarship and learning will require next. In 2024, KU Libraries launched a dedicated AI working group, bringing together faculty and staff to explore how generative AI, machine learning, and other emerging technologies that we're all hearing about might reshape our work across domains. This group has served as a dynamic library space for experimentation, conversation, and shared learning, always grounded in academic integrity, equity, and transparency. As a result of this group, we have launched several innovation pilots, including the use of Whisper, which is an open source tool for transcribing video and audio files. These transcriptions are improving the accessibility and discoverability of a range of digital collections and recorded events. We've also begun experimenting with AI-driven image description tools, exploring how to generate meaningful, inclusive alt text and metadata that enhances accessibility. And we're probably going to be seeing more of this in the years to come. Our role in shaping this emerging AI landscape is not limited to internal projects. KU Libraries is also the proud participant in a new, prestigious national AI initiative led by Ithaca S&R. We are contributing to a multi-institutional research cohort of academic libraries focused on defining and implementing AI literacy into library instruction. And we're also participating in another institutional collaboration on reference AI and how we might develop a shared chatbot infrastructure that can broaden user access to ready reference guidance while still keeping our human expertise at the center for more in-depth reference inquiries. So together, these efforts reflect our belief that KU Libraries can and should lead in spaces where technology, knowledge, and ethics intersect. Innovation can't happen without infrastructure. The most forward-thinking ideas are going to rely on systems that are stable, secure, and adaptable, and KU Libraries has been laying that foundation with intention. This year, we completed several significant platform migrations and upgrades, modernizing the systems that underlie everything from resource discovery to back-end operations. These changes improve performance, reduce friction for users, and prepare us to scale for future needs. We are nearing the completion of an extensive RFP process that began at the beginning of last semester for a new integrated library system, or ILS. This is a once-in-a-generation decision that will entirely reshape how we manage our collections, metadata, and workflows across libraries. This is system-level transformation, and we've been engaging faculty and staff throughout to ensure that we select a new solution for KU Libraries that is flexible, sustainable, and aligned with our strategic goals. And I think we're making a decision very, very soon, next week or so. We've also implemented LibKey upgrades. This provides users with a smoother, more intuitive path to full text access. It's one of the many ways that we're working to improve the researcher experience, making discovery more seamless without sacrificing precision. At the same time, we're also investing in important security-minded enhancements, reflecting the increasingly complex landscape of digital threats and privacy risks. Our team is working proactively to strengthen these protections while still preserving the openness for academic inquiry. Finally, KU Libraries faculty are contributing to university-wide compliance efforts tied to something called NSPM 33. This is a federal directive that is aimed at protecting research integrity. This involves digital persistent identifiers, which are a key mechanism for ensuring that the people and the organizations behind research deliverables are accurately represented and appropriately credited. Innovation doesn't only come from systems and platforms, it also comes from people. In 2024, we spent quite a bit of time, KU Libraries entirely re-envisioned our own commitment to a professional working environment where people can grow, explore, and lead. Through our new Talent Development Pathways program, we formalized new opportunities for career exploration and coaching. This program is designed to align professional development with individual strengths and interests and long-term goals, as well as the evolving needs of KU Libraries as an organization. The Talent Development Pathways represents a shift in how we think about talent as not something fixed, but as something that we nurture as an organization. We also continue to invest directly in our people. Every single faculty and staff member now receives individual talent development fund allocations, and our new tenure track faculty, and you'll see we have a lot of them, now receive startup research funds, ensuring that our newest library colleagues are now resourced to bring their full vision and energy to KU Libraries from day one. Perhaps most importantly, and this is this image right here, we completely reimagined how we collectively engage in our strategic plan and our strategic initiatives. This past year, we developed and launched a new model for strategic engagement team, or SET as we call it. And this is comprised of clustered objective teams centered around aspects of our strategic plan. This was developed from the ground up, and all of these teams are designed to ensure that our planning is dynamic and participatory, and that there's good communication across all of our many strategic activities. So KU Libraries is changing how we work. Taken together, these initiatives are building a culture of purpose, experimentation, and belonging, one where people feel empowered to bring their ideas forward and shape the future of the libraries together. I believe this deeply. An empowered team will drive a more innovative KU Libraries. So at the heart of every advancement that I've shared so far today, every initiative, every breakthrough, every act of leadership, are the people who make KU Libraries what it is. This year, we have seen faculty, staff, and student employees recognized across the university and beyond for their achievements, contributions, and potential. From national honors to internal library awards, the distinction of our people continues to speak for itself. For KU students, we celebrated continuing traditions like the Snyder Book Collecting Contest, which is coming up soon. What's the date? '24th. And the Daisy Awards, which spotlight creativity, scholarship, and engagement by our students. We also launched a brand new KU Libraries Student Ambassador Leadership Award to recognize those student ambassadors who go above and beyond in representing the libraries and building community across campus. Their service is not only appreciated, it is helping us to redefine what the libraries can mean to our students. Among our faculty, we were super proud to see Amalia Monroe-Gulick honored this fall by KU's Office of Research on the basketball floor with the Spotlight on Faculty Excellence Award, recognizing her national contributions to research infrastructure, scholarly communication, and the evolving landscape of academic metrics. And we also recognize several outstanding library faculty and staff members with honors at this year's recent Evening of Excellence. I'd love to name them all. I can't, but you know who you are. So really, this is a slide that is a recognition that people are our greatest resource, and that cultivating their success is truly one of the most strategic decisions that we can make. And This year, we have been so fortunate to be able to establish several new faculty positions that address the future of KU libraries. This is really exciting to me. As you can see, we are hiring. Each of these new roles reflects emerging needs, strategic priorities, and an expansive vision of where scholarship and public engagement are headed. We are deeply grateful for the institutional support from the provost, from our KU finance colleagues and others that made these critical investments in human capital possible. Hiring for the future is an expression of confidence in KU Library's new strategic direction, and we are absolutely 110% committed to repaying that institutional confidence with impact in the years ahead. Let's talk about how KU Libraries is extending our reach and relevance on a global scale. Through strategic partnerships and internationally engaged scholarship, we are advancing KU's mission far beyond campus borders, and this is a KU level priority. KU Libraries advances global engagement not only through partnerships and research, but through the collections, programs, and experiences that we curate right here on campus. This year's International Jayhawk Festival was a vibrant celebration of global cultures, just took place yesterday, featuring activities like the Name That Language game, which invited participants to tune into linguistic diversity through a fun challenge. We also hosted Tadoku reading events through the year, which encourage joyful reading in East Asian languages and help connect our language learners at KU with authentic materials and shared experiences. These sessions build confidence for students studying Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. Our book displays in international collections spotlighted voices and stories from across the globe, turning public spaces into cultural touch points that spark conversation, reflection, and learning. And we even experimented with new digital formats like our International e-Poster Conference, which showcased globally focused projects and made it easy for participants to engage from across time zones and locations. And for new graduate students in area studies and world languages, we offered orientation tours designed to help connect them with KU's relevant resources, spaces, and people from the very outset of their KU journey. So we've been engaging internationally with our students in many, many ways. They've been intimate in scale, but deep in impact. And they demonstrate that global engagement doesn't always require international travel. It can begin with a book, a language, a conversation, or just a warm welcome into the library. For me, one of the most exciting developments this year has been the launch of KU Library's new Institute for Globally Engaged Librarianship, or IGEL, as we call it. This is a new initiative that will position KU Libraries at the forefront of international academic collaboration. IGEL's mission is to create trusted and equitable international relationships among libraries and librarians. Through this work, we will directly advance KU's institutional goals for internationalization by strengthening our own library role in discovery, research, and global academic exchange. And it's more than just a strategy, it's also a vision for the future of librarianship as a globally interconnected profession. I do want to express gratitude to Charlie Bankert. I don't know if he's out there listening, but Charlie, for those of you who don't know him, is Senior International Officer for KU. His enthusiasm, encouragement, and support all along for IGEL has been instrumental in bringing this fledgling endeavor to life, and we really appreciate his partnership. I just returned from a KU delegation to the University of Costa Rica, where along with Charlie and his team, we identified multiple opportunities for IGEL-sponsored collaboration, and IGEL is just getting started. In this section, we're going to turn to the ways KU Libraries is telling our story with authenticity, creativity, and care, and how we are building relationships and demonstrating impact that resonates beyond the campus. In 2024, we marked a milestone that was both joyful and deeply meaningful, 100 years of Watson Library. And many in the room were there, and they know. We did so with a centennial celebration that truly engaged the entire KU community. From Hawk Week in August through the time capsule ceremony in November, we created opportunities for connection, reflection, and celebration. At least 1,000 people attended our official centennial events, although the real numbers are probably much higher than that. From library on the lawn to a 1920s theme dance lessons, movie nights, a library employee reunion, and the show-stopping Rhapsody in Jayhawk Blue evening right here in the library. These gatherings brought generations of Jayhawks together and sparked new traditions that we're going to carry forward. I think we will continue to do the library employee reunion for sure. So we worked intentionally to honor Watson's legacy through storytelling. The Watson 100 website offered a rich historical timeline, digital images, and even a 3D model of the building built by a student. Exhibits over in Spencer Research Library and right here in the Harricombe Gallery brought the library's history to life, and a feature article in the Kansas Alumni Magazine lifted up the pioneering leadership of Carrie Watson, for whom this building is named, to a wider audience. And beyond celebration, the centennial helped us raise the visibility of KU libraries more broadly. Governor Laura Kelly declared last September as Watson Library Month. There's an image on the next slide. I think as a result, foot traffic across our libraries rose, and our messaging was amplified via Kansas Public Radio, a Lawrence Community Mug Hunt, and several partnerships with the KU Alumni Association. All of this success was made possible by the incredible work of the Watson Centennial Council, a planning team of faculty, staff, and donors whose ideas and energy shaped every single aspect of the celebration, many of whom are in the room today. I do want to especially thank Janet Sinelli and Christy McWard and her team, who co-chaired the council with thoughtfulness and care, helping us imagine and deliver a centennial worthy of Watson's legacy. The Watson Centennial was celebration of a building, but even more, it was a celebration of the people, stories, and values that have defined KU libraries for a century. I wish I could be here for the next centennial 100 years from now, because it was that much fun. Don't think it's gonna happen. The centennial didn't just stir pride, it also inspired extraordinary generosity. We had our most successful One Day 1 KU ever, and I'm talking about 2024. The 2025 One Day 1 KU happened, and we have the numbers, but you have to come back in a year to hear about those. For 2024's One Day 1 KU, we raised over $63,000, which was a 97% increase over the year before. We had 126 individual gifts. That's up 22% from 2023. And we had our largest ever matching challenge, thanks to Janet Sinelli and Eric Ryan, and a powerful match from Chancellor Gerard. Thank you for all of that incredible generosity. Through Launch KU and direct mail campaigns, we also raised an additional $12,886 from 94 gifts. And then, something truly unprecedented, a truly unexpected and truly deeply moving gift from the Board of Advocates right here in the room, a gift of more than $100,000 given in honor of the centennial and the future of KU libraries. I think this is an appropriate moment to recognize our chair of the Libraries Board of Advocates, Ken Stevens, and all of our Board of Advocates, if you could stand and be recognized and thanked for your incredible work over the past year. Thank you. Perhaps most inspiring of all, the centennial helped inspire and spark 4 new planned gifts to the library that total over $2 million in new commitments for the years ahead. Again, all of this is a voice and confidence in our direction. And this is all the result of strategic planning, compelling storytelling, and heartfelt collaboration. I want to especially thank Amy Gray and Michael Arp, where are you? Thank you. And all of our partners at KU Endowment for their tremendous work in making these efforts a success. We often say that stories build relationships and relationships build futures. The Watson Centennial, for me, proved just how true that can be with everyone's support. The Watson Centennial also gave us extraordinary opportunities to expand our reach, and we made the most of it thanks in large part to our ongoing partnership with the KU Alumni Association. Our Highlights by the Hundreds traveling exhibit brought the library's story to 14 different cities across the US, generating over 450 new alumni connections along the way. These are not just promotional events, they are relational, they're relationship building. They help to raise awareness of KU libraries as a living, evolving part of the ongoing Jayhawk experience post-graduation. We extended all of this storytelling through features and advertising in the Kansas Alumni Magazine and more than 40 news releases shared via KU Today and regional media. All of these stories help raise the library's visibility and reinforce the role that we play in advancing KU's mission. Our print and digital publications, the bibliophile, the annual review, and annotations continue to reach thousands of alumni friends and colleagues. On social media, we're leaning into a more focused content strategy. If you haven't signed up for our social media, sign up. We are adopting entirely new platforms like Threads and Blue Sky. You can find us there. We refined our video strategy. We have had a 63% increase in our video content on social media, and we have seen a 25% growth in our YouTube followers. This kind of outreach is how we remind KU libraries, remind people that KU libraries is vital, forward-looking, and woven into the life of the university. Let's take a quick look behind the scenes. This is really important because much of what makes KU libraries exceptional happens out of the spotlight. I'd like to just look behind the scenes at the systems and the expertise and the coordination that quietly sustains all of the work that we do. Strategic innovation depends on disciplined stewardship, and KU Libraries is continuing to take a deliberate, transparent approach to managing our fiscal resources. This year, as you heard, we refined our talent development allocation model, ensuring that every faculty and staff member has meaningful support for professional growth, and we implemented startup research funds for tenure-track faculty. We are now using Oak dashboards. These are live web-enabled dashboards that offer clearer real-time insights into budget planning and tracking. Through new dedicated innovation funds, we're able to seed pilot projects and emerging priorities, including AI initiatives and other strategic projects. We're establishing new dedicated cost centers for our mission critical systems and memberships so that we can track and advocate for any inflationary increases to them. I would like to welcome Rich Lloyd. I think many in the room have not had the chance to meet him yet. Rich, there you are. That's Rich Lloyd right there. Our new Executive Director of Fiscal Services and a member of the KU Libraries leadership team, whose expertise and thoughtful leadership in Oak dashboards, budget modeling, analytics, and transparency are rapidly strengthening our ability to plan boldly and responsibly. At our last budget meeting, we wanted to give him a hug. We're so excited by the developments that he's bringing us because he's enabling us to lead with confidence and purpose. And we have a lot more planned forward, going forward to strengthen our approach strategically to budget. Not all the work that matters to libraries is visible. In fact, much of what sustains KU libraries happens quietly behind the scenes. We have had important conversations over the past year about how we can still tend to and value all of this critical sustaining work, even as we embark in new strategic directions. And these are just a couple of examples to share with you. In our collections and acquisitions work, faculty and staff have been deeply engaged with vendors to refine approval plans and optimize evidence-driven and demand-driven acquisition workflows. Now, these are not glamorous tasks, but trust me, they are essential to ensuring that materials are purchased in timely, cost-effective, and mission-aligned ways. Yeah, I think we need to do this more regularly because you may not realize the extent to which this type of work happens on a daily basis and makes everything that feels seamless and right at your fingertips possible. At Spencer Research Library, staff have been undertaking a major effort to inventory and reorganize the vault. This is a project that requires precision, a lot of patience, and deep institutional knowledge. They've also created a new sorting room for incoming materials, allowing staff to more efficiently assess, prioritize, and process our collections that are in a state of transition. So I'd like to do this on a regular basis. These are just a few examples of the kind of efforts that make everything we do possible. They may go unseen, but know that they are never unappreciated. As we close, I do want to share just a small glimpse of what lies ahead. These final slides point to the work that's already underway and to the bold strategic directions that will shape KU libraries in the months and years to come. Let's talk about my favorite word, renovation. Watson Library is not only KU's most historic library, it is also central to our vision for what an academic research library can be in the 21st century and how KU libraries can advance research and discovery in innovative new ways. Following the Watson Centennial, we have continued to move forward with enhancement planning and iterative improvement planning for Watson with the long-term goal of transforming Watson into a flexible, future-forward research commons. While a full renovation is still out on the horizon by a few years, please know that we are taking deliberate steps now to make the most of our existing space and to position ourselves for larger investment. We're also imagining and planning and preparing to welcome new strategic partners into the building, which I am so excited about. And that includes KU's newly formed Office of Community Impact. I'd like to recognize Nicole Hodges-Persley, who has joined us today. She is leading the new Office of Community Impact, and we're going to create a beautiful home for it right on the 3rd floor of Watson Library. Thank you for coming and joining us in our work, Nicole. We're also engaged in early conversations about, hopefully, a significantly expanded Institute for Digital Research in the Humanities. So these and other strategic partnerships underscore and reinforce Watson's evolving role as a hub for public engagement, digital scholarship, and interdisciplinary collaboration. Looking ahead, we're approaching this project through a lens of future-forward design thinking. We are going to prioritize inclusivity, adaptability, and sustainability as we design a fresh vision for Watson. And we are doing it through stakeholder-centric conversations and lots of collaboration. We're going to be drawing on the insights and the talents of colleagues from across KU libraries and across the entire campus and community. So I am telling you that Watson's next chapter is in the process of being written, and it will reflect everything that we all value, which is openness, connection, and bold thinking grounded in community. The work ahead in the coming year will build freshly on the momentum that we're all creating together. So we will continue to grow through strategic hires and new roles. We will focus on innovation and experimentation. We'll expand our global partnerships. And at the moment, right now, we are engaging in a KU Libraries-wide climate survey. This is called the KEYS survey for creativity and innovation. This is a powerful tool that will help us assess our own conditions within KU libraries that either support or inhibit creative thinking within our organization. The input from the KEYS survey and how we respond to it is going to help shape the next phase of our culture building efforts. So together, all of these initiatives aren't just about doing more, they're about becoming more connected, more capable, and more aligned with the KU future that we are here to build. That was a lot to share with you. But I made it to the last slide. Woo! Truly, that was a lot of ground to cover. I don't know how long that took, but I hope that you come away with this with an understanding of all the hard work and the effort and the vision that is coming together for KU libraries. I am so excited about what we have accomplished over the past year. And I know that we've got all these great things rolling where next year's State of the Libraries address might need to be twice as long. No, I'm kidding. So thank you, and I would be happy to receive any comments or questions or concerns that anyone might have about how we're bringing you a good KU library.
Supposing that I'm a student, a faculty member, a student, a faculty member, or somebody from Kansas who wonders about all of the things that you've talked about. How do I find out about them?
Well, you could begin by visiting our website, lib.ku.edu. I think that would be an excellent place to start, but I would encourage anyone who has an interest in learning more to do two things. One would be reach out to someone at KU Libraries, and our website offers many different ways in which you could actually talk live with someone and ask a question. When you talk with our reference staff, you don't necessarily need to ask a research question. You could ask a question about KU Libraries, and we would be more than happy to answer. And then on second way that I would recommend is come on over to one of the 6 library locations and see what is on offer there and meet the people that are there to help you with whatever your interest or need is. Good question. Love it.
On your AI program, your AI program that I guess was you created new this past year.
Yes.
Is that in collaboration with the EECS department, or is that just a library-centric program?
Scott, any thoughts on that?
We have a lot of internal interest, and we're having a lot of internal conversations. We do have some external faculty members. We've had more engagement with the Center for Teaching Excellence as part of that group than some other areas, and we're also involved in a campus-wide task force that's looking at broader policies and trying to inform from that direction too.
And another way in which we are engaging in inter-institutional conversations about AI and how it shapes the library discipline. I mentioned 2, but a third one that I'm just thinking of is that both Scott and I have been invited to join some advisory boards that are going to be meeting regularly. We just met in Scottsdale a few weeks ago, and it was an opportunity to talk about how AI is shaping all of us and our own approaches to it, because nobody is an AI expert, and anyone who positions themselves as an AI expert is engaging in, I don't know, they're positioning themselves. Like I really believe that we don't know where AI is going to lead us. There's a lot of possibilities and a lot of concerns, but we all need to be learners and all need to be asking questions. And so the more that we are engaging with people across campus and with other libraries and institutions, the better for us. But this is a remarkable opportunity for us to lead and make sure that we're leading in the right ways. Yeah. In the back. Yes.
When you talk about new roles and strategic hires, does this include positions for more staff-based positions, maybe that current student employees could look into other than faculty roles?
Yes, I certainly believe and hope that we will, there's 2 things that are going to happen. One, I'm still fairly new here to KU. When I arrived a year and 9 months ago, I took a look at our historical budget and pointed out that over the last decade and a half, our investment in people had been declining at a time when specializations in librarianship and the whole information landscape is exploding. We have more need, not less need, for human capital in the digital age. And that message that I delivered shortly after arriving clearly was heard with the extraordinary support from the provost. So as you can see, we certainly added a lot of faculty lines in 2024. I don't think we're going to be adding 9 or 10 positions in the coming year, but I still hope to add a few. And yes, we certainly hope that that will include staff opportunities. And I do need to say, KU Libraries would not function without our student employees. I mean, talk about unsung. We run on student employees, and One of the things that we love is that it is not just an opportunity to gain income for our students, it's an opportunity for them to learn, to grow, to see a possible career. We have just been strengthening our student appreciation efforts because at recognition of the fact that KU Libraries is an academic unit, like the schools, like the college. But unlike the schools and the college, we don't have traditional alumni. Our student employees, you are the closest thing that we have to our alumni, and we need to recognize that, and we need to cultivate it, and we need to celebrate it. So yes, as we build our people up, we want to build that across the spectrum, faculty, staff, and student employees. Okay, we have refreshments in the back. We've got coffee, we've got bagels. Let's enjoy, let's chat, let's celebrate a great year for KU Libraries, and let's do it again next year. Thank you. Let's go.